صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. The name of today's sponsors is Sister Shahwar Fatima and Zafar Abbas, Brother Mohib and Sister Sadia. So please recite a Fatiha for their marhumin and for your marhumin, and for those whom there is no one to recite Surah Fatiha. Al-Fatihatu ma'a salawat. I request the brothers and sisters to keep your kids in as much as control as possible. I have very small kids as well, so I understand the struggle, but try to keep your kids as calm as possible. Jazakallah. I now invite Brother Maulana Sayyid Hadi Yasin to recite the majlis. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة لأعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر الأهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. Alhamdulillah, thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this opportunity and tawfiq. Alhamdulillah, another time, another majlis belong to Sayyid al-Shuhada. May Allah inshallah accept it from all of us, and inshallah give us tawfiq to be able to follow the path of Imam al-Hussein in action, and inshallah be able to become among the true followers and Shia of Sayyid al-Shuhada, recite another salawat and give it to Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. Karbala and the day of Ashura has many layers. The best example I can give is the example of Quran. That Quran says it has Zahir and Batin, the external and internal aspects of it. The out layers and in layers of Quran. That imagine someone who for the first time would read and recite Quran, the translation of Quran, would understand something from the translation of Quran, right? Someone who has a little bit more studied and have more knowledge would study Quran, get more from Quran, not just a translation. Someone else who has spent more time on the tafsir of Quran, the sha'n and nuzul of ayat of Quran and all these things would understand more. Then imagine someone who is the mufassir of Quran, interpreter of Quran, right? Commentators of Quran. When they recite, they understand differently from others. And then go all the way, for example, to Urafa, to Ma'soom. Then imagine if Imam of time he recites Quran, would he get as much as I recite Quran? No, it's different, right? Quran has different layers, depends on the ma'rifah, depends on the knowledge. Each of us will get something from it. In other aspects, it's the same. For example, someone who wants to do scuba diving, the more knowledge and experience they have, the deeper they can go, right? They say, oh, be careful, it's very deep, you should. Those who just started, they stay on the surface of the water and the ocean, right? They can't go too much. Those who have a little bit of experience and knowledge how they're supposed to do, go a little bit deeper, right? Those who are totally experts, they can go all the way in. The same as our deen, our ma'rifah towards din and religion. And the same as Imam al-Hussein story and the ma'arif and the knowledge and lessons of Karbala. Someone who would just look at Karbala would understand something from it, will be influenced by it. The more knowledge and ma'rifah and information the person has, not just the knowledge, the connection, the emotional connection with Imam Hussein and ma'rifah, the deeper they can go inside the message of Ashura and they can gain and learn more from the messages, right? So this is actually one of the important beauties of Karbala and one of the reasons that how many years, close to 1400 years, right? 1300 something years after Karbala, every year, every time throughout the year, people are sitting talking about Karbala. All the speakers, all the ulama, everyone, Noha, Musibat, everybody's sitting down and talking about Karbala, right? There's still not even, they couldn't even scratch the surface of the ma'arif of Karbala yet. Any other topic should be boring, should be over. How many times are we going to talk about Karbala, for example, right? So Imam Hussein went from here to here to here, and they stopped him and they, betrayed him and they killed him and his family. How many times are we going to talk about this, right? What we see now is different. The ma'rifah and the story of Karbala is so deep that all the time, and many, many more times we talk about it, we say, oh my God, there's another aspect, we didn't talk about it yet. This is among the miracles of Karbala, and we have to pay attention. When it comes to Karbala, and specifically Muharram and Safar, the majority of majalis, the majority of the speakers would talk and focus on the masa'ib and the musibat aspects of Karbala. Or they go to historical aspects of Karbala, right? Oh, Imam Hussein did this and that, or what happened? These are all correct, by the way, there's nothing wrong. Maybe tonight I would like to focus on a different aspect of Karbala. Together, we try to pay attention and to see that how many times and how much we ponder upon this aspect of Karbala. Among all the reasons that we mentioned that Karbala is alive, remember the discussion we had, and Imam Hussein is alive, that's why we're here tonight. It's why every day and every year we remember Imam Hussein. All those logical reasons that we mentioned put aside, Another point I have here. By nature, human beings, we do not like to remember musibats. We do not like to remember tragedies in our lives or someone else's life, right? We don't like it. We tend to forget about this. When was the last time that you said, I'm going to commemorate and remember the tragedy of my life that I had, that time that I was so depressed? I want to always remember that. The time that I have an accident, I want to keep remember myself. No, you want to get away from it. You want to forget about it, right? I want to get away from that musibat, for example, that financial problems of families. I don't want to remember. I don't want to forget. I want to keep remember about that. You don't want it. God forbid if something happened, the loss of someone or something else, one of the reasons the loved one passes away, we can function is because we forget about that musibah, that dog, that gham, right? Becomes colder and colder. That's why we can function. Imagine the person, for example, at the grave of their beloved ones, how they are. They can't control themselves. They can't eat. They can't, right? Imagine the whole life they become like this. They can't function. They can't live anymore, right? So gradually it becomes normal for them. We don't tend to like to remember the musibah and tragedy of life, correct? We want to pass. We want to forget. Don't talk about that time that I had issue. Yeah, I know that, but I don't want to talk about it. On the other side, we would love to remember, to talk, and we're so attracted to the beauties of life, to those enjoyable, powerful, happy moments of life. You all agree with me? Yes? We like to remember those moments. When it comes to Karbala and the story of Imam Hussein, one of the salawat ala Muhammad and other salawat also. Allahumma salli ala. One of the aspects of Karbala, which is one of the most important secrets of Karbala that is alive, are the beauties of Karbala. One aspect of Karbala is the tragedies, musibat, betraying, the blood, babies are crying, the ears are, teared because of that, the tents are burning. This is one side of Karbala, which is a reality. We see that side of Karbala, but in the middle of this musibah and tragedy and trouble are beauties that we should be able to see those beauties. It's a very important advance and at the same time complicated topic. In the middle of that musibah that we see that happen to Ahlul Bayt, there are beauties inside that, not even hidden, are so obvious that we should pay attention to it. The beauties of Karbala. How many of you guys thought about this? And you know where I got this from, right? The beautiful statement of Aqilatul Arab, Sayyidah Zainab, something like that. She says, Ma ra'aytu illa jamila. She didn't say, I saw beauties. What did she say? Nothing but beauties. That's deep. Nothing but beauty. What do you mean nothing but beauty? All the Karbala that you are mourning for are tragedies of Karbala. She's saying that Mal'un asked, did you see what Allah did to you guys? She should have said probably, no, not should. If, for example, we want to become, said, yeah, but it was beautiful too. It was beautiful as well. We saw beauty as well, right? That means there was tragedy and beauties. No, she didn't say that. I want you to think about it for a second. She said nothing but beauty. That is the whole story of Karbala in front of Ahlul Bayt are just beautiful. The reason that me and you will remember Karbala because there's nothing but beauty. We don't remember musibah. We don't want, unless the musibah is beautiful from that side. We're going to talk how. What is that part of the beauty that Sayyidina she's talking about? And the reason that, remember I said in the last speech, imagine the stage in Qatligah. That was the last highlighted part of the speech in the last speech of the Ashra. He said, imagine the whole Karbala and put a stage in the middle of the Karbala and in the Qatligah and put Imam al-Hussein and Allah, the light is spotlight on Imam Hussein and Allah. He is just having showing his love towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You want me to sacrifice myself, my head? Bismillah. You want my baby? Family? What else do you want? I'm just burning in your love. You want it? I'll give it to you. When they ask him, where are you going to? Well, what do you mean where I go to? In Allah sha'an yarak qatila. Allah wants to see me being killed. It's like the most logical answers that Imam Hussein could give. What do you mean? I have to. He wants me. It's like someone asks you, why are you praying? It's like, well, yeah, of course, Allah wants me to pray. Let me give you the logical reasoning. Salat is going to help you this way, and hijab is going to help you. Forget about it. He wants me, I'll do it. I know all the reasons behind, but he wants me, I'll do it. Abd, Muslim, Taslim, submitted. Right? It's so beautiful. What do you think attracted Imam Hussein to go to Karbala? Let's go towards tragedies. Let's go towards, I want to sacrifice my baby. Who would do that? No. The musibah is not attracting Imam Hussein. No one likes musibah. The beauties are attracting Imam Hussein to Karbala. Well, what is that beauty? Or those beauties that Imam Hussein, he's saying it. Or what are the beauties we might not be able to see it and say, there's enough someone like she said, nothing but beauties. The beauties of it. How many times we focus only on the beauties of Karbala? We need it, remember, all the time, we need it for our daily life. Who would love, who would like, who would enjoy to have a 6-month-old baby in front of his hands? Let's go shoot an arrow because this is, I came here for this. Who came for that? Imam Hussein didn't bring his family for the sake of war. They invited him to go there to live in Kufa. That's why he went there. He was not supposed to, quote unquote, physically to stay in Karbala. He was invited to go to where? To Kufa, to be in charge of the people of Kufa that sent the letter to him. That's why he had his family. Apparently, on the surface, right? Remember the details? Allah wants to see them, or the details and the layers. Imam Hussein, the beauties are attracting him to go towards Karbala. They're asking, so what are these beauties? Sayyidah Zainab, she answered after this statement, Mrs. Marek, she said, look, they followed what Allah wanted them. Allah wanted to be shaheed. They became shaheed because Allah asked them to become shaheed. The beauties is this. He asked them and they followed his orders. Imagine if me and you and our children, they have this mentality and this view towards deen. Nothing but beauties. You know what we do? I'm going to be very honest with my younger friends as well. How we introduce our children to deen. The first thing we teach them, halal, haram. Don't touch it, touch it. Don't do this. Don't stand, sit down, right? Well, you're talking to me about a bunch of rules and regulations. It's very important, right? But these are part of deen, which are very important we have to follow. Is the school just about sit down, stand up, don't touch it, study, oh my God, you're going to pass it, you're going to fail it, it's just this? No, these are part of it, but the beauty of a school is that you're going to get educated, you're going to be successful in the future, right? The rules are very important, but the rules are supposed to help us to enjoy driving on highways. Do you agree with me? The rules are supposed to keep us safe when we drive, are not supposed to cause us to be panic every time when we drive. If all these rules and regulations are supposed to be followed with wholeheartedly to be able to get to that pleasant aspects of deen. Muhammad is attracted to Karbala because of those beauties, connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing but beauties. Imagine we have we can't have that much, little bit of this view of Sayyidah Zainab sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We have towards deen. You have it towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know what? If I didn't know, if you didn't know Allah at all, there's no God, we don't know God, right? And I tell you, there is a person by the name of Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. He is so much in love, in a relationship with his God, with his creator, that because of that love, he's bestowing and sacrificing everything because he's burning in that beautiful love. You're like, I want to see who is that God that he's sacrificing everything for the sake of that. Such a strong relationship. What did he do, Allah, to this servant Hussein? How strong is the attraction that he bestows everything for the sake of him? What is that relationship? Isn't it beautiful? The love is so strong that he gives everything. And yes, there are a lot of reasons and wisdom and hikmah and what he's thinking. Imagine if we pay more attention to the beauties of Kaaba. Beauties in the middle of tragedies. This is the complicated part. Because us, we're so black and white in this aspect. If it's tragedy, oh my God, why this is happening? I'm going to get away from them. Oh my God, depression. Oh my God, anxiety. Oh my God, someone have this and that. Something is horrible happening, right? Either this is so horrible, oh, you might have done something horrible. That's why Allah is punishing you. Either that part, or, alhamdulillah, the life is so good. You see, it's outside, it's so sunny, it's so beautiful. Let's go travel, let's have fun. So either this or that. Now the mark is compartmentalized, right? Either this one or this one, which is wrong. Allah said, the one that I love the most, I'm going to test them the most. They're going to have more trouble in life the most. By test, you're good at students? Well, I'm a teacher, I expect more from you. If I want to ask a question in a class, first I ask you to stand up and why me? Because you know more, so I expect more from you. You have to prove to others what does it mean to be a good student. Allah says, no. Actually, mu'min, a believer, will be tested a lot in life. A lot in life. A lot. Look at the mu'mineen from the beginning of the world. Hazrat Adam all the way. Who's better than Anbiya ulul Azm, the major prophets? Look at what happened to Musa. He's a little child. They're killing everyone because of him. His mother had to put him in a basket. Someone said, oh, go on the river. What kind of life is this? And then he grew up. All those tragedies of Musibah. Pharaoh is following him to kill him. What kind of life is this? From the physical aspects, right? Test left and right. Look at Hazrat Ibrahim. First go slaughter your son. Oh, slaughter my son? Why? I'm going to throw you to the fire, so see how you... Am I not the best servant in the entire time at that moment? Yes, you are. Why are you testing me so much? This is how we do. The more we love you, the more we test you. Yusuf, we love you so much. We're going to put you through in the bottom of the well. Imagine, Hazrat Yusuf and all prophets from the beginning, they were the kings. Powerful, nothing happened to them. They all have a beautiful life. What could you do? What would you think about them today? Well, of course, if I had the position, I would do the same thing. They had the money, they had the power, they had the position, they had the respect. Of course, I would follow God. Right? Imagine Imam Hussein goes to Karbala, to Kufa from the beginning. MashaAllah, salam and salawat. Imam Hussein came to Karbala, to Kufa. Okay, so what did they? Of course, everybody loved Imam Hussein, so what happened? He didn't do anything special. Although he has a lot of things special, right? Karbala is one aspect. But when you look at Hazrat Ibrahim, you say, oh my God, look what he did. In the middle of tragedies. When they were throwing the hadith says, when they throw him to the fire, they throw him with what? Catapult, right? They couldn't even get close to fire. That much fire. So in the middle of the sky, when he was in the way to go there, Jibreel came to him. Test in the middle of the test. Jibreel came to him and says, Ibrahim, do you need help? I'm here to help you. If you were there, what would you say? If I were this, please, look at the fire, please. Jibreel, please can help me, their thing. Jibreel says, he's this angel of God, right? This is anything I'll help you. Look what Ibrahim says. That's why he's Ibrahim. He said, well, from you, no. From him, yes. Ilmuhu bihali hasbi and sa'ali. Ibrahim asked for something. He said, he knows what I want. That's it. I'm submitted. Oh my God. Isn't it beautiful when I tell you? The whole story that how he is submitted to Allah, that he brings his son through sacrifice. Isn't it beauty? So do you think slaughtering his son is more beautiful or what he did is more beautiful? Both mix. How long Muhammad see the beauties that he sacrificed everything for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the middle of everything because he wants. Ibrahim couldn't finish it. I will finish that test. Beauties that Ahlul Bayt they see and they see. If Sayyidah Zainab sallallahu alayhi wa, she would have said that nothing but beauty. To be honest, I wouldn't be able to say that. Everything is good. She used this term, Jameel. Jameel in Arabic is what? The best translation is true. You know what is Jameel in Arabic? Look at the flower. Oh my God. Look at the mountain. Oh, beautiful. Look at this person. How beautiful is that person? This is Jameel. How she's looking, what she's saying. The beauties of that. Imam Hussein and Ahlul Bayt, how Sayyidah Zainab and Ahlul Bayt, they can tolerate the physical body is not made to be able to tolerate the tragedy of the murdering and the killing and the head of 18 members of her family on spears. The body can. Psychology is saying the loss of loved ones, one has the highest emotional hit. That can make someone go to depression and blah, blah, blah. The highest. One. You see, now, Allah, inshallah, bless all Mahkumeen. One person loses his family, father, mother, children, blah, blah, blah. Go to the graveyard. You have seen them. Oh my God, crying, yelling. I can't tolerate it anymore, right? One person with salam and salawat and respect, this person passed away at the age of 90-year-old, for example. A father passed away. Oh my God, we can't tolerate it anymore. Literally, that person can't tolerate it. A mother passes away. She's like dying. Oh my God, my mother. But she was old, mashallah, when she passed away. 18 members of family members in front of her eyes, the head on the spears, including her own sons. She's an aunt of the Shuhada of Karbala. She's a sister of Shuhada of Karbala. She's a mother of Shuhada of Karbala. How many sides? She can't tolerate, we'll go back to Isha. She can't tolerate that aspect at the moment. But what is that? The beauties that she gets. We're not alone. He wants us who did what he wants. That became the hujjah, the reason, the power for all of us. The beauties of it. You have a lot of examples of Kabbalah about the beauties of it. A lot. I can't even count how many you know about Kabbalah, the beauties. When I say the beauties of Abu al-Fadl Abbas, what comes to your mind? Well, Abu al-Fadl Abbas, he could go to the Furat, to the river, and he got there. He had his container, and he grabbed the bowl of water, right, or in his hands. He could drink it, and me and you would say, beautiful, you should drink it. He's thirsty, have water, why not? He's dropping the water. Well, I want you to see that picture. See? Look at me. Look at see. The water is dripping. Look. He brought it here and he dropped it. This is beautiful. so epic, so heroic, so powerful. How can you even do it? Today, we want to introduce Abu Fadl to someone, a hero. He is my hero. Look at the beauty. Qasim al-Hasan is a 13-year-old at night of Ashura. Uncle, I have a question. What? Am I going to be among the murderers? Excuse me, you have to go play video games. At this age, right? You should have concern about your beauties. Well, let me test you, sweetheart. I want to make sure you. How's death to you? What does it say? No. Sweet as honey. Beautiful answer. When we expect this answer from the Maraja, Urafa, Ulama, Anbiya to ask us, right? You say, oh, how do you see death? A 13-year-old says, death to you, for the sake of Allah, better than sweet as honey. Oh, you passed the test. Isn't it beautiful? Ali Akbar is saying that, all right, so Imam Hussein says, yes, the angel of death is following us. Are we on the right side? Are we on haq? Yes. Fine. You guys know that you guys are 72 plus people in front of 30,000 people. You know that, right? Yeah, we know. At night of Ashura, you know that you guys are 72 plus people, less than 100 people. And over there, there are 30,000 people. You know that. Tomorrow, there's no way. Yeah, we know that. And you still stand up, Muslim no Sajid, stand up, Zuhair ibn Ghayri, stand up and says, if I have 1,000 lives, I will sacrifice it for the sake of your sake. Zuhair ibn Ghayri stand up and says, you know, he says, if I knew that the life in this dunya is eternal, look at this, eternal, that means we'll live here forever, I would still like to be sacrificed for the sake of it. What is this? What is this connection? If it's not beautiful, what is it? If it's not so, you do not have example of this in the entire world. The connection of between an abd and the imam of his time. The connection between a sister and an abd and the imam of her time. Say this enough somewhere. I want you to be in charge of everything. After me, do. Excuse me, I just lost everything and everybody. So you want me to be in charge? Yeah. So you're the imam, I will do it. Let's look at deen from this angle. Let's introduce deen to our children from this side. Before we go anywhere else, show them the beauties of deen. I have a client from Iraq, those talking to have some problem is issue with, following some rules and regulations, something like that. Today I was talking, she's like, yeah, I have issue with this, and that. But what is one of the issues? So, yeah, you have been said all the time that when you pray, you have to feel something connected with Allah. I said, whenever you go to school, you feel like so connected to school. Oh my God, I'm going to go to school. Let's go to school. No, you have to. This is your duty. Because finally it's going to benefit you. Then you eat every single day. Oh my God, I'm going to eat every single. No, you have to. This is a duty. If it's up to us, the majority of us would like not to go to school, not to go to work and sit down every day and have fun next to the beach and have the juice, right? But we know that's not going to help. It's not going to help. We have to drag ourselves to something that is going to benefit us. Even instantly in the moment doesn't feel like that, I have to do it. No. Deen sometimes means you're so in love and submitted to someone that you do everything because you say. And I know you're the wisest, the strongest, the richest, wealthiest, and the kindest, and more powerful. I totally trust you because you say that. Let's introduce these aspects of deen. If I want to introduce Kabbalah to my children, let's introduce first, right, based on the age, beauties of Karbala to children. And then when you talk about the musibah, masa'ib of Karbala, your children will start crying. That beautiful person, that hero, that my hero is saying, they did this to her, I can't tell her I have to cry. Do you see my point? That's why Karbala is there. Don't get me wrong, like the masa'ib of Karbala, and remember you said another reason is masa'ib, like it's just intertwined, so together. That musibah is actually because of we mentioned what? Because it's following the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine if they show you in the TV or movies, whatever. Imagine someone was away from the family member for a long time, and now there's a reunion. They found them and they're back. They're hugging each other. Everybody's crying. How do you see it? So beautiful, right? He starts crying. So beautiful. That reconnection. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Isa, kam utilun nazar. How long should I wait for my servant to come and talk to me? Allah is saying, especially how beautiful is reconnecting and tawbah to Allah, right? Specifically and especially if the intercessors is who? Hussein alayhi salatu. Imagine the whole story. Hur is the commander of the army of Yazid, is coming back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the path of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu. How beautiful is this example? The most beautiful return day of Ashura was the return of Hur to what? To Imam Hussein. The most beautiful request of a wife from a husband is when Walham, the wife of Zuhair, is asking him to go join Imam Hussein. The most beautiful loyalty is when Abu al-Fadl Abbas, he dropped the water out of loyalty to Imam Hussein and children of Imam Hussein. I don't want to drink. When I see the children of Hussein, they're thirsty, I will not drink it. The most beautiful war, Ali Akbar, in front of the enemies, for the sake of haqq and truth, is fight. The most beautiful reaction when the mother of Wahab, they brought the head of the Wahab to the mother. How savage they were, right? No mercy. She grabbed the head of her son, walked towards the army of Umar Sa'd. She threw it towards them and says, whatever we gave for the sake of Allah, we do not return it. We do not accept it back. Yours. A mother says that. There is power, strength, beauty, message, everything together in what she did, right? And mother, you have the head, you should sit down and mourn and grieve for the sake of this musibah. You have the head, just throw it back, you don't accept it back. No, I give it for the sake of Allah. The most beautiful answer, the most beautiful gift of Sayyidah Zainab, their sons to Imam Hussein. She doesn't even come out of the tent. When they became Shaheed, the children of Sayyidah Zainab, she doesn't come out of the tent. Later on, when they ask her why you didn't come, she says, I didn't want him to feel shame in front of them. The most beautiful namaz, the most beautiful salat is what? The salat of Imam al-Hussein and the Zuhr. One of the soldiers, when Imam Hussein said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, he felt it. Was, the shield, so the arrows that comes would hit him. They said his body was full of the arrows. When he fell down, Imam Hussein came, grabbed his head, put on his lap. I said that before. He looked at Imam Hussein. What should he say? I told you I'm going to sacrifice you. You're proud of me? He said, was I loyal to you? Did I do what I was supposed to do? Excuse me, you're dying now. You're going to shaheed for the sake of him. You're asking now? That's beautiful. That's beautiful. The most beautiful time that someone can protect the Imam of his time without anything is Abdullah ibn al-Hassan, little child of Imam Hassan. He has nothing to protect Imam of his time, and the body of his uncle is holding his hands. The child, I won't let you hurt my uncle. And that matter brought his words. The most beautiful speeches are the speeches of Imam Hussein. The speech of Sayyidina Zainab from the Imam Sajjad after Karbala, enlightening people, telling them that what happened in Karbala. Karbala is nothing. Let's try. It's very difficult. Right? Let's try to have this mentality. Let's try to change the way we look at Karbala from just duties to beauties. At least we can pretend, huh? Let's pretend. The first thing that starts and helps you to go reach your goal is you pretend. I pretend, I'm wishing, I want, I'm dreaming, I want to be so and so when I grow up. I want to have this now and now. Within 5 years, first you imagine, right? Let's imagine. Let's start in our head. What does it look like if I look at Deen as beautiful thing, rather than just duties? Duties are super important, by the way. Without duties, we fail. But might look towards the duties. Let's look at them as beauties. How am I supposed to look? Like Imam Hussein, one of the major things is that he's following his duties. But the duties are beauties because he wants. Let me take you somewhere after Karbala, which is very, very important. When the Caravan of the Sahaba got closer to Medina, Imam Sajjad sent Bashir, who was a guy. He said, go tell them that we're coming, so they come first of all. Among the people who came, it was the mother of Abu al-Fadl Abbas, al-Bani. I want to show you the beauties of this world. Bashir came, everybody's around him. Oh, people of Medina, I have a news for you. This is what happened to Karbala. This is what happened. Al-Bani came. Bashir looked at Al-Bani and says, oh, Al-Bani, oh Fatima, they killed your sons in Karbala. Al-Bani says, Bashir, tell me what happened to Hussein. Said, they also killed your Abu al-Fadl, your son Abbas. Bashir, I asked you about Hussein. Whenever he was saying about her children, she was like Tell me about Hussein. I'm asking about Hussein. What happened to Hussein? How beautiful. She's saying, my sons not first. First my love Hussein, then my sons. If it's not beauty, it's not beautiful, what is it? And Bashir says, yes, Hussein also became shaheed. Ya ahla Yathrib la muqam al-hukum. The Hussein also, they beheaded Hussein as well. That was the moment that Fatima Salamullah alayha, al-Baneen, she started crying and yelling, oh Hussein, oh Hussein. After Hussein, she mourned for her children, Abu al-Fadl Abbas and the other one. And she said that, she asked them, I heard that they hit the head of my son Abbas with the amud, with that stick of ahan and iron. They hit his head with that. How is it possible? My son, he was a hero. It's not easy to hit his head like that. Maybe, let me tell you, maybe he didn't have a hand in his body to protect himself against what was coming to his head. Yes, before they do this, they hit his head. Before that, they cut the hands of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas before they attack him to his head. Oh, imagine the heart of al-Baneen and what she felt hearing what happened to Hussein, what happened to her sons Abbas, what happened to other sons. She started saying, do not call me al-Baneen anymore. There is no son left for me, so don't call me al-Baneen. Baneen, whatever happened to you and you're mourning this way, at least you were not in Karbala to see what happened to Hussein, to children of Hussein. At least you were not there with Zainab Salamullah alayha to see when the musibat came to Zainab. Her sons in front of her went to the battlefield and sacrificed themselves, and she couldn't even come out to take the bodies of her sons because of Hussein. Baneen, at least you were not there to see the son of Ali Akbar Irban Irba pieces and pieces in front of the eyes of Hussein and Zainab Salamullah alayha. Baneen, at least you were not there to see the beautiful body of Abu al-Fadl Abbas on the ground when Hussein, he grabbed the head of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas and cried for him. Baneen, at least you were not there in Kharabi al-Sham in Damascus when Sakina or Ruqayya were asking, she asked for the father, and instead of the father they brought the head of her father for her. You were not there to see that when Zainab was all alone, Asir in the caravan, one head of the chain around the arm of Zainab and one head of the chain around the neck of Ali ibn al-Hussein Zain al-Abidin. Ah, Baneen, at least you did not see this masa'ib and tragedies. Allah knows after Karbala, a few days such as sometimes today, tomorrow, what happened to children of Hussein, to Zainab Salamullah alayha, whenever they were bringing them water and food to drink and to eat, as soon as they were looking at it, how they felt. This is the water that we did not give our father and Shuhada of Karbala. Everybody could drink from this water except Hussein and the caravan of Hussein. Imam Sajjad, for many years after Karbala, whenever they were bringing water to him, he was crying. Whenever he saw that they are going to slaughter an animal, a sheep, he was crying. Why you're crying, Yabna Rasulullah? Because they slaughtered my father, my children, my brothers in Karbala between the waters. 2 rivers, and they did not give them any water. How can I not even cry for my father Hussein? Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah wa ala al-arwah allati hallat bi fina'ik. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بغيت وبغي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. All together inshallah. السلام على الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. few du'as inshallah. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج والعافية والناس ومد في أمره الشريف وزين الأرض بطول بغائه وجعلنا من أعوانه الأنصار وشيعته يا رحمن يا رحيم ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. اللهم بحق الحسين hasten in the dhuhr of our Imam Mahdi. Let us and our generation be among the true followers of our Imam. Anyone from this Islam, this Ummah, they're under difficulties, issues, Afghanistan, Pakistan, anywhere around the world, Yemen, Bahrain, Ya Allah provide opportunities for their freedom. My brothers and sisters who have hajats, give them the khair hajats. Ya Allah, those who are sick, they wish they could come to this majalis. Bahaq al-Hussein, through the wall at this moment. Those who passed away in the tabawun involved from our gathering to the soul, inshallah. Mawtan Hussein.
زیر زمین دفن تمہیں کیسے کروں بابا، 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 کیسے بھلا غسل و کفن آپ کو دوں بابا، زیر زمین دفن تمہیں کیسے کروں بابا، لاش بے سر کی طرف جب میں بڑھاتا ہوں قدم، پشت پر درے لگاتے ہیں میری اہل ستم، تم ہی بتلاؤ ذرا میں یہ دروں کی جفا، میں یہ دروں کی جفا کیسے سہوں بابا، زیر زمین دفن تمہیں کیسے کروں بابا، زیر زمین دفن تمہیں کیسے کروں بابا، تو کو زنجیر میں جکڑا ہے مجھے یاداں نے، اپنے ہاتھوں سے بھی پکڑا ہے مجھے یاداں نے، توڑ کے ظلم کی صف کیسے لاشے کی طرف، کیسے لاشے کی طرف اب میں بڑھوں بابا، زیر زمین دفن تمہیں کیسے کروں بابا، زیر زمین دفن تمہیں کیسے کروں بابا، بے کفن لاش کو تیروں سے اتاروں کیسے، بحر امداد میں اکبر کو پکاروں کیسے، جس نے کل دی تھی اذان اس مؤذن کا یہاں، اس مؤذن کا یہاں بہہ گیا خون بابا، زیر زمین دفن تمہیں کیسے کروں بابا، زیر زمین دفن تمہیں کیسے کروں بابا.
صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله، صلى الله عليك يا حبيب الله. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين ويا وصي رسول رب العالمين. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا حسن بن علي المظلوم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاده وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى 9 المعصومين من ذرية الحسين. السلام عليك يا علي بن الحسين زين العابدين ومحمد بن علي باقر ابن النبيين وجعفر بن محمد الصادق وموسى بن جعفر الكاظم وعلي بن موسى الرضا المرتضى ومحمد بن علي بن الجواد وعلي بن محمد الحادي وحسن بن علي العسكري. السلام عليك يا صاحب الزمان يا إمام الإنس والجن يا شريك القرآن. الأمان ورحمة الله وبركاته. صلوات.